Good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. We are still doing our Villa Feliz 2.0 refresh right now, but that's not what today's episode is about because I need to take a little bit of a break, and we took delivery of a shipment yesterday, which I'm really excited about. So let's go ahead and start today's episode with today's latest project. Now, without further delay, let's get today's video underway. Workers are here and they're going to go ahead and continue the Villa Feliz 2.0 refresh. But today's episode is not about the refresh like I said earlier. Today is about a special treat that I've been looking forward to for quite a long time, for about 2 months now. I placed an order on Alibaba. Alibaba is like the, if I could do a comparison, it's sort of like the Amazon.com of the US, but it is a huge connection between manufacturers, sellers, and customers like me over here. And you can be a customer anywhere. You can be a customer in Germany and Japan and the United States. You can be a customer anywhere. And they have such a great selection of things that they sell. And it's not one of those kind of things where you see a specific price. Maybe you could actually communicate with the, and you do. You communicate with the seller, the manufacturer of the item, and you can do some haggling, a little bit of negotiating, and that's what I did. Today's episode is about one of those purchases that I made on Alibaba. I've been in the market for some type of a electric vehicle type of transportation just for around the subdivision. We live in a subdivision that has a lot of hills and slopes, and I've been riding my bicycle like from here back and forth over to the pickleball court by the clubhouse and stuff like that. But I'm getting to the age now where it's becoming maybe a little strenuous, a little bit more strenuous, maybe a little bit more dangerous going up and down these steep slopes around here, the hills. And so I wanted something maybe that I could drive over there so I still had energy to play pickleball once I got there and I'm not worn out on the trip over. So what I ended up doing, I went online and I looked on Alibaba, and I wanted to look for something similar to a very small golf cart, and they have tons of selection there, and you can look at the reviews, you can look at their ratings, just like you could do on Amazon.com. And I actually found something that I was very much interested in. Now, before we get started, I just noticed this morning. This is angel trumpet. These are beautiful plants, and this plant I actually got from my good friend Barry. He has a vlog, Barry and the PI, and maybe about 2 years ago, I think it was around his birthday a couple years ago, he gave me this, and I put it in a pot here, and this is the first time we got the angel trumpet. So anyway, Barry, thanks, and these look awesome, man. Now, what was so cool about doing this order is the customization that you could do for your order. When I talk about customization, any accessories that you wanted to put on there, the colors. They had a palette that you could select different colors and all on there. And I got to thinking, well, I really like the dark gray of the Toyota Hilux that I purchased. I said, let me try to match up something as close to that color as possible. I have the Hilux with the gray and with the black seats on the inside, and I really like that combo. So I contacted a company on Alibaba, and I said, can I get it with a color that is very close to the color of my Hilux? And we selected and we got that. That's what we did on our selection. And then accessories, I decided to go ahead and bump it up a little bit more than just a vehicle to get from point A to point B. And I'll talk about that when we go into looking at all the features of the golf cart. Now let me talk about the actual purchase process. I went on Alibaba and I looked for a reputable company, and I found one. The company is called Camp Industrial. Camp Industrial, they build lots of things, but one of the things that they build at their manufacturing site are golf carts. And they had 5-star reviews. They've been in business for quite a long period of time. The same type of a research that you feel comfortable about when you order on any other big ordering type online website like Amazon.com. Anyway, I felt comfortable with this company, and then I spoke with the customer service rep, and the customer service rep's name was Isla Zhang. And she, for being a Chinese company, she did a fantastic job. Very good English for me, because my Chinese is like nil. And we communicated back and forth, and she showed me pictures of what they have, what they build, and all the options that I could get if I wanted to get options. We discussed things like shipping costs and things like that. And we'll talk about that towards the end of the video today, about the total cost. Anyway, so I found something that I liked. I accessorized it, and I just waited for them to build it, and it arrived yesterday. It came in. It came in a shipping crate, and you'll see the picture of the shipping crate, and you'll see the way they made sure that it would not receive any damage. They did a fantastic job of securing it inside. As a matter of fact, they welded. The case is actually welded all the way around the vehicle, where you have to actually cut off all so that it's not going to fall out. Nobody's going to pull anything out of the case in the middle of transport. So they did a fantastic job also of the securing the product so that it arrives here without any damage. It's time to go and take a look and see what I received. Now, I've already opened up the box. We removed that steel casing, cut it off with a grinder, and we put all the parts inside the basement for assembly. That'll be the next thing that I'm going to do. So let's look and see what I received. Well, here you go. This is the main vehicle. And it comes in a crate, like I said, and they pack it down so that something that's really big fits in a very small space. The 4 tires over here, the base seat right here, the steering wheel still has to be assembled inside, installed. The seats, both the backing of the seats for the front and the rear seats, this is what's called a 2+2. There'll be 2 seats in the front, normal driving, and then 2 in the back that face the back. Now you can get many options. You can get a 2-seater, 2+2, which is what I have here, 4-seater, which all 4 seats face towards the front, 6-seater, 8-seater, where it's almost like those tour carts that you would do like if you were inside a resort or a theme park. So like I said, I have the seats here. This, I'm not really sure what this is right here. I'll figure out what that is once we start assembling everything. Maybe it's the rear. Maybe it's a rear seat for right here. I believe that's what that is. This is the roof. It's inverted. It's upside down right now. Some of the mounting hardware for the windshield and the support for the roof. This is the windshield up here. And what I did for the windshield, I got a tinted windshield. Since it's so sunny here all the time, I got like a smoke-colored tinted windshield for the front. Now this is a 4-wheel with disc brakes in the front. It has, I believe, McPherson suspension on the front. It's sort of like a car, and drum brakes on the back, very similar to a automobile. This also is equipped with some really neat electronics features, and it's not so bright inside here, so it's kind of hard to see, but we'll show it a little bit later on. We have a fully functioning Android head system right here, similar to the one that I showed you when we did the Android upgrade inside the Toyota Hilux. And this has to do with, I'm not sure, I can't remember. It has something to do with the status, I believe, of the vehicle. Again, and then it has the drive, neutral, and reverse button right here. It's the key for operation to turn on. Parking, USB. This is actually for USB devices. And then hazard warning, and you'll see the lights once we get everything assembled. Standard stop and go for travel and braking. And up underneath the seat, right here, the seat lifts up, and the seat has more items for me to install, but this is also where the batteries go. Now the battery options that you can get with this are several. You can get the 72 volt, you can get the, I believe it's a 48 volt, and I think that's the main two options that you can get. And we received the battery actually about 2 weeks ago, 1 week to 2 weeks ago, and here it is over here. It ships separately. It ships separately from the vehicle, and has to do with import customs restrictions. They can't come together. So this was actually about 1 to 2 weeks later than the batteries. Well, I took a look at the instruction videos. The instruction videos Isla sent me, and it shows step by step for doing all the different things. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to install the wheels, which is quite easy. Just lift it up. It has 4 lugs on here, and we'll install the tires and wheels, and then we'll go according to what the instructions say with the instructional videos for installation. Now, what I discovered, the first step really probably shouldn't be install the wheels first, and that's what I was about to do here. But the first thing is to install the steering wheel post. And the steering wheel post has 4 nuts and bolts that go through from this side over here, which is covered by a rubber boot. And up underneath the rubber boot you have the head of the bolt. Bolt goes through, and then you put it through on this side. It will come, this shaft will be loose. You'll slide the shaft to this rubber waterproof boot, and it will go over the turning rod that goes to the front wheels itself. Now, assembly of your golf cart might be just a little bit different based upon the video, the assembly video that you might get. Like this one, in the video, it doesn't show installing the tires first, which we didn't do the tires first, we did the steering wheel first. So let's go ahead, we'll just go over here and take a look at the video that you would normally get if you purchased from Hennen. And the first thing they will say, install the bumper. Well, it came with the bumper installed. The bumper is up here, which I'm glad they were able to install that. That's one less thing that I have to worry about. So we're just going to follow after the logical things of the tires and the steering wheel. Let's look at the very next thing. After the front bumper, it says install the front support rod and rear view mirror. Okay, we'll go ahead and do that. I think later on it talks about, then it will be the backrest support. And then the next thing it says is rear additional seat and armrest. And steering wheel. So it's got the steering wheel very far down at the other end, because you can see it already has this installed inside, but mine came with that uninstalled, which it's probably best to have it installed when you receive the item, because that has to do with the alignment of your front tires. If you've ever had a vehicle where your vehicle was running straight, but your steering wheel was a little off center from one side to the other, that's a little pain to do the adjustment to make that correction. And then install the shed, which is the roof, front windshield, and the front basket. So let me go ahead and get started, go back and start working on the front support rod and rear view mirror. Now here it is the following morning. We got a little bit of misty rain coming down right now, but I spent quite a bit of time yesterday doing the assembly of the vehicle, and there's a lot more involved than I thought it was, but it really was. I mean, it's not rocket science, and although the videos helped out a little bit, the videos are kind of like a generic video for different models and everything like that. But what I ended up doing, I ended up laying all the parts down on the floor, and after I laid all the parts down, I just started assembling in a logical manner. The nice thing about the assembly is every one of the parts, they kept the bolts and nuts, they had them already inside, so you don't really lose anything. You don't have a big bag, like if you get something that says assembly required, and you get this big bag of nuts and you have to go to the instructions and look for which bolt, which length, which width, all that kind of stuff. You don't have to do that. Everything is in each one of the accessory parts that go on there, or the major components that are on there, and you just pull the nut and the bolt off, put it into place, and then go ahead and do the assembly. Very, very easy. But again, it took me It took me a little bit longer than I expected, and by the time all the workers had gone yesterday, I had nobody to help me put the battery. The lithium battery is really heavy, and it's not that I can't lift it myself, but it's the angle of putting it under the seat. So I waited until a friend came by last night, Mr. Eddie Cantata, one of my friends that he actually goes golfing all the time and is probably going to end up getting a cart similar to the one that we have here. He stopped by and he helped me put it in. This morning I assembled all the wires. We're going to do an electrical functionality test here in just a little bit, but let me show you what it looks like assembled inside the basement. But anyway, it's all assembled. The roof, the windshield, the basket in the front, the seats, the steering wheel, the tires, the running board, the little, I don't know what you would call this. If you had golf bags, you could tie your golf bags to this in the back. And what's kind of cool about this, it has so many neat features inside here. And this is a neat feature right here, is you take the seat, you move the seat down. This is actually a storage. You could carry things here. And then it has, if you had, I believe there's an optional cooler that you could put inside, drop inside here. If you were going on like if you're out in a park somewhere and you actually wanted to run a cooler and keep things chilled out. Also, up underneath the seat here, this is the battery that I was telling you about that was assembled. Let me show you from the other side. You can see the battery connections. It's very simple. It's very simple connections inside here. Basically have your negative, your positive, and you got like a couple of they're communications cable that communicate with the motor and the converter for the power, for the DC power and for the charger and everything like that. Very simple, very clean installation. Now this was an upgrade. This steering wheel, this is like a sport upgrade instead of the typical round. I thought this was kind of cool. I thought I would do an upgrade. Now, I haven't turned anything on yet. There's a power button inside here right below the, I don't know if you can see it. It's right here. There's a power button. We'll be turning that power button on. That's the first thing that activates the battery. This will tell you the status. This little display area right here will tell you the status of your battery condition, the lithium-ion battery. This is the big Android head. I think this is actually bigger than the one I even have inside my truck. My truck is I think it's a 10.5. This is probably something more like an 11.5 inch Android head. And this is the charging port over here on this side right here. There's a charging port, and it comes, and it's very simple to charge. It comes with this little kit, and here's the charging. So you put this charger into the vehicle, and you just plug it right into your wall. No special adapter that you need or anything like that to do charging. Now it also comes with 3 sets of keys, and I imagine one set of keys is for the ignition right here, and then you got 2 little glove box kind of things on the side. So those are probably for those. So, and there's a duplicate of each one of those. So I imagine these smaller ones are for, let's see, like, that's what that's for. The smaller ones are for the glove boxes, and the bigger one right here. And there we go. So let's go ahead and start pressing some buttons and see what happens. Now the first thing they said is we have to turn the battery on. So the button that I was saying up underneath here, you see, battery came on, and now we have a display. I'm wondering, is there an English version of this? Anyway, you see the status is 53.3 volts. Since we're not using any amperage, nothing's really turned on, so there's no amperage being pulled. I guess that's what that's for. I have to figure out what all this, and I hope there's a menu inside here for an English version. Now for the Android head, I asked the agent, her name is Isla, what this red button is for back here. She said if you pop that up, it actually applies the power to the multimedia system up here. But we're not going to do that yet. We just want to kind of see what's going on with the vehicle. I think this will probably be when we plug it in. I'm really not sure what this is a percentage of charge, I believe. And it's supposed to be charged 3 times to a full 100%. So I charge it to 100%, use it a little bit, charge it to 100%, use it again one more time, 3 times. That's recommended. The initial to basically condition the battery. So I think I got this figured out. There's a little English Chinese word, so we're going to go to English. There we go. So there's our English. The status of charge right now, it came pretty much 100%, so it's 96% right now. Runs stat says okay. That's anything that okay, that's a good thing. Warning okay, protect okay. Amp hours left 100.6 amp hours, and we're not using any power right now, so we got no watts going right now. So everything looks good so far. So I'm going to pop up this button. I'm going to see if the multimedia comes on first. Ooh, there we go. Look at there. Emergency flashes are on. Let's take a look and see what happens if I do the multimedia on. Let's do that, multimedia. So I got Bluetooth, videos, music, radio, telephone calls. Okay, now's the moment everybody's been waiting for. This is the moment of truth. Is this going to work? This is our first test drive out of the inside of the garage. Now, something I didn't talk about earlier is I didn't talk about the height. The height of the golf cart is actually just a little bit higher than the Toyota Hilux. And when we measured the opening right here for the garage door and everything, when we built all this, we built it for the Toyota Hilux. So we didn't think we would ever get anything taller than the Hilux. And we have like about this much space. But what I found out is the golf cart is actually a little bit taller with the roof on it than the Toyota Hilux. So we don't even know if the golf cart is going to make it out. We might have built it inside the garage and it might be stuck there. We might have to deflate the tires or something like that to get it out. We're going to find out in just a minute. The moment of the truth approaches. Anyway, we have some special guests with us here today. And my co-pilot for today is this little girl right over here. She is going to join me on the maiden voyage of Hilux Mini Me. Hi, Marga. You ready for this? Yep, you ready? Okay. Are you ready? Yeah. All right. Let me know. Let me know if I have clearance in the top. Okay. Okay, we're going to take the parking brake off. We're going to go into drive, and here we go. Good. Good. Still clearance? Yeah. Yeah? It's okay?
Yeah, good. Oh.
It's okay in the back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, here we go. Yeah. Oh, can we make it up the hill? Oh, look at this. We're up the hill. We're going. All right. Now we are. Here we are. Yay!
1, 2, 3. Okay. Very nice.
Anyway, this is the end of the day. We did our trip, and there was some other events that we did today. We're kind of doing family time here now, so I'm going to close out today's video here. Did you have fun today? Yeah? What'd you think about the golf cart?
It's very scary.
Very scary? What was so scary about it?
Where we're up to the hill.
But did you have fun? Yeah, I did too. I had fun too. So that's it for today's episode, and we'll be doing some updates on the golf cart as well as the updates on doing some of the improvements here on the Villa Feliz 2.0. And the next weekend, we will make sure that it gets out by that time. We should be done with all the things that we need to do for the paint refresh and things like that. So we're going to close, right? All right. Well, thank you for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please give us a thumbs up Please share, and if you have not subscribed, just click on the little My PI Dream heart in the bottom right hand side of your screen. You will be subscribed, and if you ring that bell, you'll be notified the next time I upload a new video. So until such time, from right here in the very beautiful, beautiful Philippines, right? You have a wonderful and blessed day. If you enjoyed today's episode and you would like to see more just like these, just click on one of the helpful links over to your right and you might be able to pick up on some good information on DIY projects, how to, or if you are interested in moving to the Philippines and building, you'll find answers there as well.